All right. Welcome everyone. How's everyone doing this morning, this afternoon, wherever y'all are? Tommy says hi. What up, Tommy? Nice Cody says take two. Yes, take two. What up, boys? What up, everyone? Good morning, Limey boy. Good morning. How are you doing? Real Adam T says good evening. It is evening for me on my side. Hello, dogs. Yes, welcome all you FOMO buyers and panic sellers. Welcome to today's live stream. In this video, I kind of wanted to go over what's going on with Bitcoin here. I'm gonna talk about the macro situation. Is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? Are we still in a goddamn bull market, or are we breaking down and crashing into nothingness? Well, while I don't have any answers, we will discuss some possibilities here in the short term. So, folks, if you like the sound of that, you know what to do. Smash that like button. How is everyone holding up? You guys doing okay? How's your sentiment? I want to get a feeling of y'all's sentiment. Are you guys experiencing extreme fear? Are you experiencing extreme FOMO? Let me know, because right now I think Bitcoin's probably gonna have an uncomfortable dump, which we don't want to see here. So, folks, just to begin speaking about what's going on, I believe we're forming a bit of a diamond pattern here that we're currently breaking down bearishly. And so thankfully we are finding our support on these previous wicks, these previous bottoms. So if this doesn't hold, if we break down below 35,700 again, we're probably going to fall to about 34,000 in my opinion, 34,400. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we find our support here. Bitcoin keeps running up against this slanted resistance. So, folks, if we want to know what's going on with Bitcoin, it's very, very clear. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about their feelings and intuitions. Guys, if we want to know what's going on next, I keep saying it because it keeps being true, which is we need to wait. We need to wait to see if we make a higher high above here, or if we make a lower low here or here. Price will tell us what's more likely. If we make a higher high, we'll probably have a relief rally. If we drop, make lower lows below here, oof, that is bad news bears. We could probably break down quite a lot further. Wait for the confirmation, folks. Price structure will tell you what's more and less likely. So what are you guys saying here? For Profit says lengthening cycle theory. I mean, sure, anything is possible. Typically, we've moved in 4-year cycles due to Bitcoin and the Bitcoin halvings. But look, history tends to rhyme, not repeat, right? So, actually, I mean, history does repeat quite a lot. I know there is that, I think it's a Mark Twain quote. But I mean, history pretty often repeats itself. But I suppose it's a nice saying. Anyways, folks, look, what's going on with Bitcoin? There's a lot of factors to consider here. Ultimately, folks, if we want to know whether we're if we're still in a bull market or entering what could be a bear market, we need to wait for confirmation. The kind of confirmation we're looking for is this here. So, folks, I think it's quite simple to understand what's going on. I do believe we're forming something of a head and shoulders. And if we make a lower low below 30,000, or even, 31,000, that's going to start looking like a bearish breakdown from head and shoulders. And so what I'm doing in the market is very simple. I am practicing risk management very, very begrudgingly. If we start to make lower lows, I'm out of the market, moving the stable coins, because if we make lower lows, it makes it more likely that we can continue to downtrend. In a downtrend, a lower low below 30k looks like a head and shoulders breakdown, and a head and shoulders breakdown, the price target for that is pretty bottomless. So if we make lower lows, I'm starting to move into stable coins. If we break out bullishly and have a relief rally, there are layers and layers and layers of resistance above us. So I would also move into stable coins during a relief rally. So really what I'm saying here is whatever way we break out, I'm going to move into stable coins because the market is super precarious. But if we want to know what it would take according to the charts, not feelings, intuitions, what it would take according to the charts for us to really be in a bull market, be confident about the bull market, strap in boys, we're going to 100k. What do we need to see? we need to see a few things. We obviously need to start reversing this pattern. We need to see higher highs and higher lows, not lower highs and lower lows, which is what we've been doing. So if we break out bullishly, come back down and retest, hold it as support, then we can continue pumping. But ultimately, we need to get above this trend line here. If Bitcoin can break out bullishly from this trend line, come back down, retest, then the bull market is a go. If we find rejection on a retest, and if we cannot hold higher lows, then in that case, a rejection from that trend line would constitute confirmation of the bearish trend, and thus make it more likely that we may be entering a bear market. So folks, people you hear saying we're in a bear market, I do not think there's enough confirmation to think that we're entering a bear market. This was the 2018-2017 Bitcoin bear market. What happened? We had a blow off top, we had one sell off, a relief rally. So if we draw a resistance trend line from the all-time high to the next lower high, we can see that eventually we went back up to retest it, got rejected, and that was confirmation of the bear market. We entered a several year long bear market. Even if we look here at 2019, we had this kind of mini bull cycle where we formed a blow off top here, and we had a lower high. We went back up to retest. As soon as we got rejected, that was pretty much confirmation of the rest of the downtrend. So folks, my point is here, we can see that several times we come up to retest our trend line here from all-time highs to the next lower high to confirm the bear trend. We have not done that. All we've done is crash into nothingness. We have not had confirmation of the macro trend. We have not had a relief rally. Both two things that I think are very, very likely. So people shitting their pants talking about a bear market, it is too early. You are, just settle down there, calm down, take some breathing exercises, think about a tree, and you'll last longer. Just take a second here, folks. Look, there is lots of reason to be concerned with what's going on, but guys, we need to follow the charts. We need to follow the price action. The price action will tell us what's more or less likely. There's no need to jump to conclusions and panic yourself or FUD yourself. Watch the price action. If we make a higher high, then we could probably pump further, have an extended relief rally. If we break down and start making lower lows below 33,000 and 31,000, that is very bad news, bears. Every lower low we make, I will move into stable coins. So I think something else. There's endless layers of resistance above us, from clouds to bands to lines to resistance to trend levels to fibs to volume. There's endless ways to describe how there's resistance above us. People are even talking about death crosses due to the 50 daily and the 200 daily. So basically, if this yellow line and this white line cross, that's telling us that it's the end. I mean, sure, that's bad, but first off, these things are lagging indicators. And over here we had a death cross and we actually pumped. So I mean, I don't give too much credence to these death crosses that everyone's freaking out over. Ultimately, this just tells us what we already understand, which is there's lots of resistance above us. That's not helpful. Anyone who's anyone can understand how there's resistance above us. What we need to kind of get more clarity and a better sense of direction is confirmation. Confirmation. So here's what I'm saying, folks. We're still within this goddamn wedge. And now I've kind of widened this due to the recent breakout. I mean, previously I had this drawn something like this, right? We broke down bearish and even something like this where we're finding rejection off currently. But either way, we're still within this goddamn pattern. We're still right in the middle of our lower highs and our higher lows. So we need to leave this goddamn range to get a sense of further confirmation. So in the short term, guys, the trend is actually very bearish. We're seeing lower highs and we're seeing lower lows. This is a very bearish chart. Very, very bearish. So Bitcoin needs to first off hold 36,000, which we're dropping below right now, which is like not good to see. So we need to hold 36,000 and we need to break above this goddamn trend line. And as soon as we make a higher high, as soon, as we can get above say 37,000, 38,000, we could probably retest 41, 42K. If we can retest that, we can retest this trend line. And if we can retest that trend line, break above and hold that as support on a bullish retest, then we can enter the bull market. So folks, we've clearly defined the major support and resistance levels. We know our lower lows. We would know what would constitute a breakdown from a macro head and shoulders. So there's no need to panic ourselves. We clearly understand the major support and resistance levels. We know what would constitute further bearish confirmation, bearish divergence, and bullish confirmation, bullish divergence. Bullish confirmation, we want to see higher highs and higher lows. We want to get above our 200 daily EMA and 200 simple EMA. We want to get above the 50 daily SMA. And we want to get above this red trend line. That's what we want to see if we want to be bullish. If we want to be bearish, we need to look out for lower lows. A lower low below 31,000. Excuse me. More specifically, 31,000 kind of 300. A lower low below 31,000. Each lower low that we make below these two levels makes it more likely that the downtrend will continue. So I will move into stable coins each lower low we make. So folks, bottom line is here. I'm just trying to get across the point that you know, there's no need to panic. Just follow price action, and price action will tell you what's more and less likely. So let's take a look at what you guys are saying. One more shakeout coming, maybe. I mean, we're currently breaking down bearishly. So if we kind of go to our shorter term time frames, I do believe that here we're forming a bit of a diamond pattern. So basically, if 35,800 cannot hold, then we're probably falling down to 35,000, and then around 34,400, and maybe even lower. So I think the conservative case, if again basically where we're at right the fuck now that can't hold, we're probably falling to kind of 34,400 for Bitcoin. Also, guys, weekends are usually bad for Bitcoin and for crypto. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, day after Sunday, we fall, and then come Monday we recover once again. So guys, folks, with all this resistance above us, we should anticipate rejection. The key factor that I'm looking out for is higher lows. We can get rejected all the long day, that's fine. And the more times we test resistance, the more likely we are to break through. The key thing is lower lows, because lower lows are confirmation of the downtrend. That's what we don't want to see. So that is what I'm looking out for with that as well, guys. Very, very sound financial advice. Someone over here, I can't say your name, man, saying enjoy life, y'all. Absolutely enjoy your life. And the reason why I'm extremely begrudgingly planning on moving the stable coins if we make lower lows is just to practice some goddamn risk management. Look, if I had all the money in the world, I would buy every goddamn dip, but unfortunately I don't, and so I need to I'm forcing myself to be responsible and practice risk management, and lower lows would constitute bearish divergence and bearish confirmation, and thus should lead me to practice some risk management. Because the thing is, guys, each lower low that we make makes it more likely that we retest 30K. A lower low below 30K, at that point, there'd be more reasons than not to be bearish if we make a lower low below 30K. If we make a lower low below 30K, at that point, 2-3 year long bear market is definitely in the playbook if we make a lower low below 30K. But we still have not done so. We are still putting in macro higher lows. So again, there's no need to jump the gun, jump to conclusions, panic sell, FOMO buy. Wait out. The price will tell us. We're going to know very soon, within the month, within the next 2 weeks, within the week, within the next couple days. We will either make a lower low or a higher high, and we can act accordingly. Also, I wanted to mention, guys, that the Empire is meeting today and tomorrow. The G7 is meeting to discuss a lot of stuff, a lot of issues. Let me see if I have one of the articles pulled up. I do not. That is okay. But basically, Joe Biden is rumored to address Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And if Joe Biden starts to spit some FUD, hops on the Elizabeth Warren bandwagon, and starts talking smack about Bitcoin, then we are probably going to dump. Not financial advice, but look, the market loves being spooked. Retail traders love getting, pissing themselves and getting spooked. I shouldn't be rude. This market is highly volatile. But bottom line is here, the important thing here is if tomorrow we hear some FUD, would not be surprising if we had a correction. So again, anticipate it. We may not have it. He may not, he may Joe Biden may forget to completely mention it. It wouldn't be surprising. So just understand that if the G7 starts to address crypto, the market gets spooked by regulation, but over the long term, regulation is necessary for crypto adoption. Folks, cryptocurrency is the next stock market. It's going to get regulated to shit eventually. So it's just a matter of time, and we need it because the more regulated it is, the more mass adoption and the more mainstream people we will have in this market. So just aware of that as well. Also, the IMF is meeting with El Salvador to to discuss their recent dabblings in Bitcoin. So El Salvador, I don't have the article pulled up right now apparently, but Salvador, for those who've been living under a rock, has recently legalized Bitcoin as a legal tender. And so the IMF says that's no bueno, and so they're flying over to go yell at the El Salvador president. And so we yet to see if the El Salvador president will cave in to the mafia, to the empire, or will the rebels strike back? We don't know. It's yet to see. Ultimately, guys, we're the rebels. We're on the right side of history. The empire is strong and mighty, and they could wield their influence around in the short term. But we all know over the long term, the rebels win out. God, these Star Wars references. So guys, just be aware, we have some G7 FUD. Potentially, we have the weekend approaching. We're breaking down bearishly. We have the IMF going to yell at the president of El Salvador, saying, "What are you doing? Fucking with our money." He's like, "Fuck you, I don't care about your money." So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Folks, ultimately, I really want to get across, and look, it's late. I'm just, I'm having a bit of fun here, but I want to get across the point that we are on the right side of history. We are in a winning trade. We are holding valuable assets. If you're in something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example, not financial advice, but let's say you are in something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Well, you're holding deflationary assets that are set up to succeed in the exact of macroeconomic situation that we live in today. The global reserve currency, the US dollar. Americans, they've been printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and we're now finally starting to see inflation. Folks, we're seeing 5% year over year inflation with the US dollar. This is a very, very big deal. The cost of goods and services in the consumer index is now starting to rise. Folks, you're holding the US dollar, it's going to become less and less and less valuable over the long term. The world knows this. That's why El Salvador is adopting Bitcoin. That's why we're seeing investment funds adopt Bitcoin, publicly traded companies, countries, banks, institutions. Everyone is jumping on the bandwagon. Folks, if you're in crypto and not in some random shitcoin, but if you're in something solid, something like Ethereum, something like Bitcoin, we are on the right side of history. So here's the thing, folks. Cryptocurrency in the short term is highly, highly volatile. It's difficult to time things, and we swing wildly in the short term. But let's take a look at the long term. What has Bitcoin done over the long term? Over the long term, we've done nothing but just go up and up and up and up and up. And so who were the people who were most successful in crypto? They were the people that bought the biggest dips when nobody wanted to at the peak of fear and held it forever. Imagine if you bought every single dip where everyone else was selling, but you were buying the height of fear and you just held it forever and ever and years and years and years. Those are the people who have made the highest returns in cryptocurrency. And so moving forward, folks, the people with a long-term mindset are those that are very likely to succeed in this space moving forward. This is a marathon, not a race. If you try to, get rich quick, look what happens. We have dumps all the time. This market is extremely volatile. But over the long term, we're going in one clear direction. Folks, for those who didn't watch the Bitcoin conference in Miami it seems like a few weeks ago at this point, or I forget when it was, early this month, the Winklevoss twins said something very interesting. They're the owners of Gemini. They got Facebook stolen from them. They said there's 32 publicly traded companies holding Bitcoin. That number was 0 5 years ago. What do you think that number is going to be 5 years from now? The amount of countries accepting Bitcoin as legalized tender was 0 5 years ago. The first one just accepted now. What do you think that number is going to be like 5 years from now? Folks, the macro direction is clear. Adoption is just beginning. Regulation is necessary to get the ball rolling. We are on the right side of history. We are in the right trade if you're in solid cryptocurrencies. It's just the short term that's highly volatile. It's the short term that's hard to call. But who gives a fuck about the short term? Because the short term brings the highest risk and the least reward, and the long term brings the least risk and the highest reward. So yes, it's possible that we could break down further and enter a month, 3 months, a year, 3 years of correction and consolidation. But over the long term, the people with the most long-term mindset, the people that bought when nobody else wanted to, when everyone else was selling, and the height and the peak of fear, those were the people who have been the most successful in cryptocurrency and are likely to be the most successful moving forward. We need to have long-term outlook. And also, just to give you guys something a little bit more tangible, let's assume we're entering a bear market. First off, we still have not retested this trend line. Again, for those just getting in, if we kind of zoom back, kind of the 2018 bear market, when we were entering the bear market, we formed this trend line from all-time highs to the next lower high. See, we went down, came back up to retest, got rejected. That was confirmation of the bear market. Even here in 2019, lower high, come back to retest it, got rejected, confirmation of the bear market. Folks, we still have not come up to retest this trend line. We still have not gotten macro confirmation. So all these people jumping to conclusions, I believe, is a bit premature. There's a lot of good reason to be concerned, but we still have not gotten macro confirmation of the trend. So we should wait on the sidelines and wait for confirmation. The price will tell us what's more and less likely. No need to jump to conclusions. Also, just to give you guys something a bit more tangible here. So Bitcoin has historically moved in these 4-year cycles based off the halvings, where roughly every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin being produced gets cut in half. What happens when demand is always increasing and supply is consistently decreasing every 4 years? It's led to these boom and bust 4-year cycles, bull and bear markets. And so based off the most recent halving, this market isn't likely to top off until September, October. But this isn't the end-all be-all. Something new may happen. New things happen all the time. So don't take this as pure gospel. But I do think this is one very interesting data point that we should all keep in mind. And so the next halving with Bitcoin is March 19th, 2024. So therefore, I think the next bull cycle is likely to be 2024, 2025. So 2025 is when we should expect the next bull cycle to be. So if we assume the worst case scenario, we just have to hodl until 2025, when that is when the next bull market is likely to have happened. So guys, those are basically most of my thoughts. I really just I want to get across the long-term outlook that we need to have. Yes, we can enter a bear market, and if we start to look like we might be, again, I'll let you guys know. I mean, I'm a bull. I want the bull market to continue. I think this is the bottom, but fuck what I think. What matters is evidence and confirmation, and the market will tell us what's more and less likely. The more lower lows we put in, the more likely it is that we could be entering a bear market. The more higher highs that we put in, the more likely it is that we could have a relief rally and that the bull market could continue. So definitely wait on the sidelines for confirmation and smash that goddamn like button, because folks, anytime anything interesting happens with Bitcoin, we will be talking about it, just like how right now we're breaking down bearishly, and I'm telling you guys about this. This is no bueno. Very no bueno. So this is an example of confirmation. So let's kind of zoom in here. We're looking at the half-hour chart. So what are we seeing here on the half-hour? We're forming this diamond pattern. Okay, we broke down from previous support in these regions here. We're below it, and we're coming back up to retest previous support. And so if we cannot get above 35,000 pretty much in the near future here, then we would be testing what was once support and turning it into resistance. And so if on this retest we can't flip 35,000 into support soon, we're probably going to fall back down to, I'd say, at least $34,400. And so this is the point where I would tell you to go check out my bybit link. The link is down in the description below. You should 100x leverage. It's definitely safe. No risk whatsoever, guaranteed to moon. Guys, that is sarcasm for those who cannot pick up sarcasm and being sarcastic. leverage trading is extremely risky. But if you feel like losing a lot of money fast, definitely do it with our link, bybit. Link for that is down in the description. Folks, leverage trading is a great way to lose money fast. If you don't know what you're doing, be very careful with leverage trading. So MK says, was there new FUD? I only woke up. Well, just to wrap up, just to kind of for the new people just coming in here, yeah, we have the G7 meeting today, tomorrow. There's rumors that Joe Biden will address Bitcoin and cryptocurrency regulation. That is likely to spook the market. The weekends are typically bearish. We have Elizabeth Warren. Let's see if we can pull up the exact article here. Why can't I say her name? Elizabeth Warren. I had the article pulled up here just a second ago. Anyways, she's an American senator. There it is. Yes, Elizabeth Warren. She is a American senator, and she's trying her best to lose all her friends because she is flooding Bitcoin rather irrationally, in my opinion. Because folks, here's the thing. Look, these rich people, these politicians, they don't give two shits about the environment. Fucking Christmas lights use more energy than Bitcoin uses to mine. The only reason why they're going after Bitcoin is because they believe it's in their political self-interest to go after Bitcoin, because they believe it's against the dollar, it's against the strength of the dollar. So whenever you hear a politician, even one who you may or may not like, FUD something, they're not doing it because they genuinely believe in anything. No, these people are all cynics controlled by their moneyed interests. They're doing this and they're FUDing Bitcoin because they believe it's in their short-term self-interest, and they see it as an attack on the dollar. So we are seeing America start to kind of rally behind FUDing Bitcoin, FUDing crypto, and I'm starting to see a narrative that I don't like, where we're seeing South American countries, Iran, the East, start to adopt Bitcoin, China adopting blockchain, and the United States and the West kind of entrenching themselves against it. So I think we're seeing a bit of a monetary Cold War brewing. We're seeing China adopt blockchain technology, we're seeing Iran, we're seeing South America, and we're seeing the East, Russia, China adopting blockchain. Meanwhile, we have things like people like Elizabeth Warren going after Bitcoin, even though Christmas lights use more energy. Why doesn't Elizabeth Warren every Christmas come out and attack Christmas lights? It's because it's not in her political self-interest, and because it's not an attack against the dollar. She's not doing it because she's genuinely concerned in the most optimal use of energy. No, it's in her political self-interest to do so. So it's not just unique to her. I don't mean to single her out particularly, but I ever since she split the vote back in the 2016 primaries with Bernie, I haven't been the biggest fan. I don't want to really delve into politics. Fuck what I think. Fuck what everyone thinks. Bottom line is, she did split the vote, and Bernie would have won if she would have gone behind Bernie. But anyways, let's not rehash the past. I don't want to give people any more reasons to not like me. But moving on here, just understand that is what's going on with that. We are currently retesting previous support, now turning into resistance, finding rejection. So again, guys, I think 35,000 and 34,400 is very much in the playbook here. But again, we're still within this macro goddamn wedge. So still no need to FOMO buy, panic sell, 100x leverage. If you are going to 100x leverage, definitely do it with the bybit link in the description below. Just understand that it is extremely risky. So guys, ultimately, main takeaway here, what do we need to see to understand direction more clearly and have some clarity in this market? We need to either see a higher high or a lower low. So guys, if we make a higher high, we could probably retest 41, 42K. If we can flip that, then we can probably retest this 50 daily SMA. If we can flip that, then in that case, we can probably retest our trend line from all-time highs here. And so if we could flip this, come back up, retest it, hold it as support, then we're going to 100K, boys, strap in. If not, guys, you find rejection at any one point. Ultimately, just wait out for confirmation. Fuck your feelings and intuitions, and fuck mine. Ultimately, price action is king. Price action is what matters most. Each lower low we make makes it more likely that the downtrend will continue. So thus, every lower low we make, I will be moving into stablecoins. So that is that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Niscody says, because crypto is becoming more mainstream, more people are involved, past trends may not be relevant. Yeah, guys. Well, look, we are going from a very immature market that was very illiquid, didn't have a lot of money in it. Now countries and the legacy markets and banks are potentially dabbling into Bitcoin and crypto. So we are entering a whole new kind of market. And while we have historically moved in cycles, it's possible that we may be at the point where the cycles may become less and less relevant, and we may move more like the stock market, because of the new moneyed interest involved, and due to new money being in, it just changes the equation. And so the cycles may become less relevant. We may, enter 6 month consolidation and then pump to 100K. Who the fuck knows? Bottom line is we need to follow price structure. Price structure will tell us, regardless of what our feelings and intuitions are, what's more and less likely. Chris says we could be forming an inverse head and shoulders. Oh no, inverse head and shoulders. I mean, sure, man. Like here, you mean in the short term, like shoulder, head, shoulder? I don't know, man. Yeah, no, we look. There's plenty. Yeah, we could be. So that's that. Wow, you are funny, dude. Get that bite money, son. I don't know what you're saying, man, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Bottom line is like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads, and as well. Also, let's assume like you don't have any debts. You don't, you can make, you can pay the bills. You can keep the lights on. I mean, who cares if we dip? Who cares? Because again, guys, just to bring it back, we're in the right trade over the long term. We just go up because we exist in a monetary system that's inflationary. Bitcoin, Ethereum will become well, if Bitcoin's finite and Ethereum will become deflationary. So these assets are primed to capitalize on the folly of fiat currency. So in the long term, we're holding finite assets in a world where the reserve currency is inflating into nothingness. So guys, we're in the right trade over the long term. Over the next 5-10 years, what happens this year won't matter a bit. It won't matter at all. So if you had that long-term outlook, which by the way, again, is what it takes to succeed in crypto, the people who succeed are the people who have long-term outlook. Could you imagine having bought back in 2015, the peak of fear when nobody wanted to touch it, and just held it until now? This dump wouldn't mean anything to you. So we gotta have that long-term outlook. Adoption is just beginning. Again, guys, 5 years ago there were zero countries adopting Bitcoin, zero companies adopting Bitcoin, zero I don't know about zero massive hedge funds, but now there's 32 publicly traded companies, one country, several more in the talks. Folks, the macro direction is clear. We're on the right side of history. It's just the short term. It's just this month, this year, that's kind of up in the air. But the next 5-10 years, guys, we're on the right side of history. And again, while we're talking heavily about Bitcoin right now, because Bitcoin does lead the market, I actually own zero Bitcoin. Instead, I own Ethereum instead. Because guys, Ethereum actually does stuff. Ethereum is the thing that the next global decentralized financial system will be built on top of. Yeah, Bitcoin is great because it's finite, it's trust, you can trust it, it's all run through a blockchain and a governance system, and there's no single point of failure. And so there's plenty of reasons to like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital gold. Guys, every good thing you've heard about Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, all these people, every good reason every good thing they mentioned about Bitcoin is all true and valid. While that being said, at the same time, in comparison, I do believe Ethereum is a better option because I do think it is just as safe. There's a lot of money in it. It's highly decentralized. It's becoming scalable soon, deflationary soon. And so I think arguably Ethereum has a higher return on investment potential because not only has Ethereum outperformed this Bitcoin this entire cycle, but it's actually held up better. If we actually measure how far we're down from all-time highs, Ethereum is currently down 47%. And if we measure Bitcoin, I bet you it's more. I could be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin's down. Okay, yeah, it's currently down. Look at that. I am wrong. But if we measure, oh well. Anyways, I'm wrong. Because what I was gonna say was, I think this is the point I was trying to make. 54% from all-time highs. If I'm wrong, it's gonna be hilarious. I think I am wrong. I was about to say Ethereum did hold up better. I thought it did. I thought I measured this. Okay, shit, I was wrong. Look at me being wrong, guys. I'm spreading FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Wow, I'm one of the FUDsters. Because I was about to say Ethereum held up better than Bitcoin, and I could have sworn it did. I thought I measured it, but Apparently not. So Ethereum did dump harder. Okay, that's interesting. So anyways, but Ethereum this year has outperformed. Now I feel the need to actually, like, now that I've said that and I was wrong, let's actually measure. So I want to see by percentage growth how high Bitcoin has gone up. Let's measure it since the COVID crash. All right. So since the COVID crash, I want to see who's outperformed who. Bitcoin went up 1,664%. Okay, no, let's do it this way. We're gonna take a second to actually measure this correctly. So, bear with me, y'all. All right, there, roughly. And then if we measure Ethereum from when COVID first hit, from the bottom here, we are up. Let's see. I can just find my tool. Bear with me, y'all. We're almost there. We're almost there. We need confirmation. We need confirmation of this trend. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's measure this. Let's line this up exactly. We want exact numbers here. Fuck this line. All right. So Ethereum up 4,800% from COVID bottom, and Bitcoin up 1,600% from COVID bottom. So Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin historically. In my opinion, is likely to do so moving forward because it does stuff on Bitcoin. Bitcoin just kind of sits there. Ethereum kind of secures the next global decentralized financial system, and it will soon become deflationary and scalable. So Ethereum, higher ROI potential, and just as safe, and does stuff. That's why I like Ethereum over Bitcoin. So I hope that little that check there was worthwhile. If you guys got something out of that. Let's see what you guys are saying. So this just doesn't look like a bull market peak. No, I agree with you. And if we look at our cycle indicators, this doesn't make any sense, guys. We're at the point of Bitcoin's greatest adoption and greatest use case ever. All right, and one of the best models to kind of do price predictions for Bitcoin, at least historically, has been the stock to flow model. Sometimes we underperform, sometimes we overperform stock to flow. And at the peak of each bull run, we overperformed stock to flow model. So stock to flow is predicting 100,000 Bitcoin this cycle, and we're currently severely underperforming it. So one of the reasons why I'm so skeptical as to this correction, because every cycle indicator that we've looked at, the Nupal, there's like half a dozen of these cycle indicators. They all give us more room to the upside. So at the point of greatest use case in adoption, we end a bull run prematurely. It doesn't make any sense for me. That's why I've been buying the dip. That's why I'm so begrudgingly selling some of my portfolio each lower low we make, just to practice a bit of risk management and to be able to buy the dip just in case we enter a bear market. This strategy of selling in case we make lower lows is not a strategy to maximize return on investment. This is a strategy to practice risk management and to have some dry powder in case we do enter a bear market, in case we do break down further, because we could fall back down, make a lower low, and then break out bullishly. Okay, the strategy of risk management and selling upon a lower low is not to maximize returns, but to practice risk management and have some dry powder in case we drop further and be able to buy the dip and pay the goddamn light bills. So that is what's going on with that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Dogecoin, number one. Guys, these Dogecoin people, it's honestly sad at this point. It's a little sad. Like your leader, Elon, not me. Although, I mean, Vitalik seems to like Doge, but he's a billionaire and doesn't give a fuck for these new people. Guys, like when I hear people in my own life talk about Doge and getting into Doge, I shed a tear. Shed a tear is all. The foot model says, aMillionortheMoon, do you have a top 3 coins you like long term besides Ethereum? Ooh, besides Ethereum. That's a very interesting question. Well, I would say VECHAIN would definitely be in my top 3 after Ethereum. I would have to think about that. Maybe Polkadot afterwards, and maybe Chainlink after that. Yeah, and I may change that, but I think VECHAIN, Chainlink, and maybe Polkadot probably be strong contenders for my top 3 long term aside from Ethereum. because I would definitely put Ethereum in that list. But if we're doing everything but Ethereum, those would kind of be, just without thinking about it a whole lot and just off by heart, I think those would likely be top 3 competitors to make that list for sure. So Pink Gamer says XRP. XRP is garbage in my opinion. Look, here's the thing, gamer person. I really hope I'm wrong about XRP. I hope all you XRP hodlers go to the goddamn moon, and I hope I'm just spreading FUD, uncertainty, and doubt, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope every single goddamn bank in the world adopts and uses the shit out of XRP. I hope that happens for all y'all's sake, but if I'm being honest, I don't think so. I don't think it will happen, and I think there's safer plays. I think there's plays with higher return on investment potential, and so because there's enough not to like, enough dubious with its long-term fundamentals, given that there's thousands and thousands of options to invest in cryptocurrency markets, there's no need to compromise on your standards and what you think constitutes a good long-term investment. And there's enough not to like. There's enough uncertainty with XRP that I don't feel like I need to compromise my investing standards and go into XRP, because there's enough not to like about XRP, and there's literally thousands of other options that I think, there's things that are more solid and things with a higher ROI potential. So look, man, like XRP at 20 cents looked very attractive. XRP at 80 cents, a lot less so. I definitely would not be buying XRP. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope all you guys go to the goddamn moon. I hope you guys go to Mars. I hope you guys discover alien civilizations in another galaxy. But I definitely do not have my money in XRP anymore. So that is that. XRP 1030K. Experts say. Whoa, okay, so if experts say it, then it must be true. See, like look, you could be trolling and you could be trying to be funny, but if you honestly believe that, that's it's very sad. It's very sad when you see that, like, just completely unrealistic assumptions. Yeah, XRP will never reach 10K. It would have to have a market cap in the, like, what, thousands of trillions, tens of thousands of trillions. It's not happening. But then again, hey, funny joke, made me laugh. So that's that. Yeah, so let's see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, I know there's a lot of strong feelings about XRP, and guys, look, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just spreading fear, and I hope you guys kill it. I wish the best. I hope every goddamn bank, I hope new banks are made just to use XRP, but I don't think it's gonna. So what else is worth talking about here? So Bitcoin for the moment here, kind of finding support based off this wick and extended based off these 2 wicks. So we are finding support here on one of our wedge levels, which is good to see. And we could tell that this line is relevant because we broke out bullishly, we fell back down, held it as support there. Even once we broke back down, we came back up to retest it, got rejected. So I mean, you could draw this like ever so slightly differently, something more like that. Like that makes a bit of sense here. Okay, so this is how we know this line is relevant, because price is reacting exactly off it. So isn't it funny how that's exactly where we're finding support right now? So as long as we hold the line here, basically 35,500, then that's a good sign. Again, folks, key thing here is confirmation, higher highs and lower lows. No need to freak out. Just follow price action. It'll tell you what's more less likely. So G Bonger says we will both laugh after the court is done. Yeah, look, if the SEC lawsuit with XRP gets settled in XRP's favor, it'll probably pump. And look, just again, I think there's safer coins, and I think there's coins that even if XRP wins the SEC lawsuit, I'll probably have more upside potential. So whatever way you slice it, XRP just seems like a compromise of standards. So let's see what's going on. Also, guys, like the point to be buying, even if something's shit, is when it's crashed to nothingness. If you're buying kind of like midway through a bull market on something with dubious fundamentals like XRP, I wish you luck, man. I really hope you're right. For your sake, I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. That's what else you guys are. Alternative question: do you have any preferred news outlets for reliable crypto news? I'm very glad you brought this up, because yes, I do. So, Crypto Panic, folks. When I'm pulling up my my news outlets here, one thing I do every single day, I wake up and I take a look at this website every goddamn day. CryptoPanic.com. This website, they have they're basically a news aggregator. Where they'll post a bunch of different news stories from different sources. You could even filter for what people are upvoting, what people are downvoting, that kind of thing. There's several different filters. There's even polls and a bunch of stuff going on here. So I really like this website. It's called CryptoPanic.com. I check this every single day. It's a news aggregator, so I definitely recommend you check out CryptoPanic. That's what I check out for my news every day. So that is going on. That's what's going on with that. Also, VECHAIN. VECHAIN is an example of a coin with more solid fundamentals than XRP and with maybe more upside potential, in my opinion. But fuck my opinion, because I could be wrong, right? I'm basing this off my best guesstimation. But what is my guesstimation really worth, right? So, come up with your own investment strategies, man. Like, when it comes to investing, the way you outperform the market, the way you make gains above average return gains, is by having above average insight or luck. And so I hope you XRP guys have the insight to see past the FUD or the luck to hold through the FUD. But I just think there's enough reasons to not like XRP that I'm not compromising my investment standards to FOMO buy a pump on a dubious project. So that's that. But VECHAIN is something that I think has maybe similar, maybe higher ROI, and more solid fundamentals. The only thing about VECHAIN is that it is a Chinese project. So if China really decides to not just clamp down on miners, but the actual everything to do with blockchain, VECHAIN could suffer. So there is risk in everything. Also with VECHAIN here, we are falling below the 618. We are falling below 10 cents, so that is very no bueno here. But thankfully, we do have a bit of sideways price action consolidation here at 9 cents that I think we might fall back down to retest. So just to kind of make this a bit more clear, I think something like this zone here, probably we're going to fall back down. You see lots of sideways price action. We wicked off here, lots of volume here. So given that we broke down bearishly, we're below a major fib, we're below volume, I do think VECHAIN has a good chance of probably retesting 9 cents. So that is that. Sobi says, I feel like I need XRP now. LOL. You do you, boo. Guys, look, I'm in a lot of low cap gems. I've been in this space, feels like forever at this point. There's a reason why I don't have my money. So that is that. A lot of XRP people out today. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. So guys, let me just begin to wrap up here with Ethereum here. All right, I think it's pretty clear we're falling on kind of our fib level here at $2,200. So that pretty much needs to hold, because as we can see here, during one of our initial dumps, that's exactly where we found support on our fib level, sideways price action here. So I do believe there's a bit of a range of support for ETH right about here. So from basically 2100 to 22 should be support. Start to fall below that. That's very bad news bears. There's the volume building up here. So I do think this is kind of where we need to hold the line. If we don't, I mean, this will even start looking like shoulders. Maybe we can equivocate how perfect this head and shoulders is, but lower lows is no bueno. Whether this is a head and shoulders or not, lower lows is bearish confirmation, and so we don't want to see lower lows. We want to see higher lows. You can find rejection all live long day. That's fine, as long as we keep putting in higher lows, because eventually, if we put in higher lows and keep testing resistance, the more times we test resistance, the more likely we are to break through. So guys, doing TA on these alts is relevant for understanding the relevant levels to each chart. But bottom line right now, it's Bitcoin's market. Bitcoin's leading the market. So we can take a look at ETH and other alts, but bottom line is alts will react based off whatever Bitcoin does. So we need to wait to see what Bitcoin does. And so one of the things that we need to look out for to understand what Bitcoin does is Bitcoin held on exchanges. Because guys, look, all throughout the cycle, Bitcoin's been leaving exchanges, except recently. Bitcoin's been going into exchanges when the price started to drop, which leads to increased selling pressure, which is bearish, which is no bueno. So we've started to see some signs of Bitcoin leaving exchanges. We're seeing The lower highs are seeing lower lows, so we're starting to see a bit of a trend shift. But we want to see more of this. If we keep seeing Bitcoin leaving exchanges, this could be a leading indicator that we may be ready to break out bullishly. As well, also, I'll mention this real quick. I'm still trying to better understand this myself. That's why I don't talk about it too much. But this indicator here is called the Bitcoin hash ribbon indicator. So what this does is essentially gives us, these are two hash rate moving averages. And every time we have a crossover, bullish crossover with these hash rate moving averages, it is this indicator gives us a buy signal. And if we look at every single time it's given us a buy signal historically, it's always been accurate. So last buy signal was pretty much here. Look what led afterwards. And if we kind of look at the previous one, last buy signal was here, and look what led afterwards. And guys, if we just keep doing this, and you guys can do this on your end too, find the Bitcoin hash indicator, look at every time had that crossover, and look what led afterwards. Always have pumps. One indicator that's been historically extremely good at calling pumps for Bitcoin. And so the reason why this is relevant, I'm bringing it up now, because what happens is whenever we have a bearish crossover and we enter minor capitulation, it's almost, well, it is always historically has led to a buy signal afterwards. Except this time we still have not gotten our buy signal. This is very, very interesting. So what I'm saying here is eventually we can start to see these moving averages, these hash rate moving averages start to recover, look a bit more bullish, and have a buy signal. This is one factor I'm looking out for. Find time when Bitcoin's ready to recover. Oh, as well, God, I was about to end the live stream without mentioning this. This is like one of the most important things. How could I not mention this? So, guys, I saw Carl from the Moon. If you guys know crypto YouTube, sure you've probably heard of him. He mentioned something that I cannot, I can't just let go, because I've been mentioning this for, I'm pretty sure, like months at this point. Guys, tune in here. This is extremely important. What I'm about to tell you is the thing we need to look out for. And Carl woke up today and mentioned it. Good for him. I'm glad he finally realized. But I've been saying this for weeks, if not months at this point, folks. One of the biggest things we need to look out for, and yes, check out the bybit link for that is down in the description below. 100x leverage, boys. It's very safe, guaranteed to the moon. No, leverage trading, if you're not a competent trader, is a great way to lose money fast. Do not leverage trade unless you're very confident in your trading ability. Just spot trade, guys. Learn how to trade, and then once you're good at it, once you're confident, then you can fuck around with high risk trading. But if you're still new and learning, most new leverage traders lose, the vast majority. So guys, bottom line is here. What's important is the daily RSI with Bitcoin for timing when Bitcoin is ready to recover. So we have been respecting this resistance level on the daily RSI for Bitcoin this entire goddamn bull cycle. If we look at each peak in the RSI, each higher high in price action coincided with a lower high in RSI. This is classic textbook bearish divergence. Whenever you see this on a high time frame or a low time frame, whenever you see the price going up or RSI going down, it's telling the uptrend is running out of strength. And even the opposite way, if we start seeing kind of lower highs but higher highs in RSI, that's telling us the downtrend is running out of strength. So guys, when we're seeing these higher highs but lower highs in RSI, we were running out of strength, and eventually we just capitulated and crashed. So now we've held this as resistance the entire goddamn cycle. The entire cycle we've held it as resistance. So we tested it recently, and what I'm trying to get across here is the moment we see bullish divergence from this trend line, that is when Bitcoin is done dumping. So if we break out here, come back down, retest, hold as support, break out, come back down, retest, hold as support, and if we could retest a bullish breakout and bullish divergence bullishly, then at that point, folks, bull market is a go. I'm buying, fuck selling, I'm buying the dip, and at that point we have bullish confirmation. So guys, I've been saying this for weeks, if not months. We just saw one big crypto YouTuber mention it today. You're going to hear more and more big crypto YouTubers start to mention it, but just understand that I've been saying this for like months at this point. So folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified to know what to do. I've been ringing the alarm bells, screaming from the rooftops for what feels like months at this point, that this is the factor. And when it happens, pay attention. I'm letting you guys know now before it happens, because once it happens, you're going to hear everyone talking about this. Wait to see when we get bullish divergence from this resistance level, because once we do, folks, wrap it up. Nice talk. I'll see you at 100K Bitcoin. Folks, I'll wrap it up here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and lose all your money 100x leverage trading with my link, my bybit link. There's a bybit link down in the description below. So if you're going to lose your money, high risk trading, you might as well do it with my link, because I will make money off your losing trades. Guys, these crypto YouTubers, they make money whether you're making money or not. If you're losing money, they're still making money. So if you're going to lose money, do it with my link. The link for that is down in the description below. Folks, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, take care.